Juan Guaidó is meeting with Vice President Pence tomorrow, and he is calling for action, that is Guaidó, suggesting perhaps he wants military intervention. Where do things stand?
Yeah, tomorrow Guaidó is meeting with Pence and other Latin American presidents who've been very critical of Nicolás Maduro in Venezuela. And everybody's sort of saying now that all options are on the table. That kind of calls to mind maybe military action, but much of the international community is very much against that.
Who won this confrontation yesterday?
In some ways it seemed like Guaidó and the opposition lost the aid battle because there were so much at stake to get this aid into Venezuela. But on the other side, the optics were extremely bad for Nicolás Maduro. I mean, it's not often that you see soldiers burning boxes of food and medicine amid a humanitarian aid crisis.
All right, that's John Otis in Colombia, and now we are going to go to NPR's Ada Peralta in Caracas, the Venezuelan capital. Ada, what are you hearing there this morning about the meeting between the Vice President and the National Assembly leader?
Well, there was broad hope here that there would be some kind of swift resolution after yesterday, that Guaidó would call for some sort of international action, but that didn't happen because Guaidó seems to have put on the brakes a little bit, wanting more diplomacy. So I've heard a lot of disillusionment, but the government, it's worth noting, is jubilant. They believe they won this battle, that the coup, as they were calling this operation, has failed.
You've been talking to people there. What have they been telling you?
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was a really interesting day here in Caracas because it was a huge planned confrontation. Tens of thousands of Venezuelans marched to La Carlota, which is an air base in the middle of the city, and they were at the fence staring at the soldiers. And there I met Sofia Torres. She's 19, and she was just holding a poster at the fence, trying to get any of the soldiers to talk to them. I asked her if she ever expected to have been out here, to be here confronting soldiers, and let's listen to what she told me.
No, realmente.
She was crying because she had given up on Venezuela. She had decided to leave in December, and Guaidó declared himself president, and that gave her hope that things would change. And when I spoke to her, she was 100% sure that they could make reasoned arguments and that the military would side with the opposition.
But that didn't happen.
No, not in Caracas. Along the border, as John said, dozens of military people turned. But here they came out in ski masks as the crowd started thinning, and they started taking pictures and eventually started giving people the middle finger. And at one point, colectivos, which is a paramilitary